Hello, welcome to Thriving Academy. In this class, we'll be looking at the chain rule of differentiation. We looked at product rule before, so I look at chain rule. Now let's read this together. If y is a function of u and u is a function of x, then we say y is a function of a function because we said it's a function of u and u is a function of what? Another function. That is why we can say that y is a function of what? Of u and also of another function which is of what? Of x. So in that case now, that we I said that if y is a function of u and u is a function of s, I'm simply saying that y is a function of a, remember, it's a function of this function and then a function of another function which is this. Now in this kind of mathematics, all right, to get your dy dx is very easy. All you have to do is to what? Use this formula. That's what chain rule says. So we can simply say that from the chain rule formula, dy ds is equal to dy du times du ds. Now this formula here now becomes the formula for chain rule. So you say that using chain, they don't need to tell you to use chain rule to differentiate first. Once you see that a function has another function, you have to introduce the chain rule of differentiation, which is dy ds is equal to dy all over du times du over ds. This one is of the first function, while this one now is of the second function. Watch out for our next video. In one of the videos, we'll be looking at how to get as a derivation of this dy ds. Now let's look at an example in chain rule. Say the question says that evaluate dy over dx when y is equal to 10x plus x raised to the power 4 close bracket raised to the power 5. Now if you look at this, now this is a function, right? And then raised to the power 5 is another what? Function. Is a function of a function. In this type now, when you look at it, how do you attempt this kind of, or how do you answer this kind of question? It's very easy. All you have to do is okay, let what we have inside the bracket be u. If that is the case, we can simply say that let 10x, which is what we have in the bracket, plus x4, right, be equal to what? U. If we say let what we have in the bracket be u, we can simply say that that means y will now be equal to u raised to the power of 5. Because we said that let what you have in the bracket, which is this, be what? Be u. So in place of what we have here now, we simply substitute that what? U. Remember, everything has power of 5, power of 5. Now after doing this, you get dy du. Differentiate this function. You know how to do differentiation. So let's differentiate this together. If we differentiate y with respect to the function u here, we are now going to have our dy all over du be equal to, differentiate u, 5 will come here, we're now going to have 5u, 5 minus 1 raised to the power of 4. So our dy du now becomes what? 5u to the power of 4. After that, we are done with the first part of the function, which is our dy du. If you look at it, we have dy du, we have dy du. The second part is, how do you get your du dx? Now, this is where things get interesting. At this point, we said that 10x plus x raised to the power 4 is equal to u, correct? So therefore, just bring our u equation, which is u equal to 10x plus x raised to the power of 4. After bringing it out, differentiate this u now with respect to x. If we differentiate u with respect to x, we are going to have du all over dx will now be equal. Differentiate 10x. If you differentiate 10x, you have 1. So this becomes 1. Differentiate 10x, you are going to have 10, sorry, plus differentiate x raised to the power 4. 4 will come here, it becomes 4x. 4 minus 1 raised to the power of 3. This becomes our what? Our du ds. After getting your dy all over du and getting our du ds, all you have to do now is come back to chain rule. Go back to chain rule. Remember, chain rule says that to get your dy ds, and you have simply say that dy dx is equal to dy all over du multiplied by du over dx. Easy enough, right? So from here now, let's get our dy dx. So here we can simply say that from chain rule, we said dy all over dx is equal to dy all over du multiplied by du over dx. That is the case, our dy over dx will now be equal to our dy du. What is our dy du? Our dy du will say that is equal to 5u, equal 5u. So therefore, in place of dy du, you put 5u raised to the power of 4 multiplied by du dx. In place of du dx, now what is our du dx? Our du dx is 10 plus 4x cubed. 10 plus 4x raised to the power of 3. So here becomes 10 plus 4x raised to the power of 3. Close this bracket. Remember, these two things are multiplying. So if they multiply, we are going to have dy all over dx will now be equal to, these two things multiply together, we have 5u raised to the power of 4 in bracket 10 plus 4x raised to the power of 3. We are now going to have this. Are we done at this point? No. Remember, we said that let our u be what? 10x plus x raised to the power of 4. Right? So therefore, in place of u here, we are going to substitute u as 10x plus x raised to the power of 4, because we said that u is equal to 10x plus x raised to the power of 4. So if we do that substitution, we are going to have dy all over dx. This will be equal to 5 in bracket. What is our u now? 10x plus x4. It becomes 10x plus x raised to the power of what? 4. Close the bracket. Now, this 10x plus x4 is only our u. Then we see that u raised to the power of what? 4. So put 4 here. After doing this now, remember all these ones is just for 5u raised to the power of 4, which is this. Then is, remember 5u4 is multiplying this. So 5u4 multiplied by this becomes multiplied by 10 plus 4x raised to the power of 3. Now going to have this. Now at this point here, look at it here. We are supposed to expand, but can we expand? It's possible that we can expand, but if we want to expand this one here, it will be very long, very long. So in that case now, what we're going to do now to multiply this one and this 5 here. So if this one multiplied by 5, we are going to have dy dx will now be equal to, take the 5 first, multiply by this first bracket first. Remember, this one is what I asked for that we can expand. Or we can simply leave it like that without what? Expanding this. So this becomes 5 into 10 plus 4x raised to the power of 3 in bracket. Now it's 5 times this times. It's still the same thing with this one here. But let's take this one first. Since the power here is 1. Let's take this one first before this one. So this becomes 5 10 plus 4x cubed, which is this, multiplying by this, which is 10x plus x raised to the power of 4, close the bracket, raised to the power of 4. So this becomes the dy dx for this answer. Sorry. So this becomes dy dx for this question. 5 into 10 plus 4x cubed, close the bracket, open another bracket, 10x plus x raised to the power of 4, close the bracket, raised to the power of 4. After closing the last bracket, this becomes raised to the power of 4. So this is how you apply the chain rule of differentiation. Watch out for our next video, and if you have not subscribed to our channel, don't forget to subscribe. Let's look at another example in our next video. Thank you.